to you out there. Our class today is going to focus on this topic, factorial, permutation and combination. Now, in permutation and combination, we have to first of all know what is meant by factorial. If I have this kind of a question, the question says evaluate 12 factorial over 10 factorial multiplied by 2 factorial. This kind of a question, as we have it here, it means that you're going to have 12 multiplied by 11 multiplied by 10 factorial over 10 factorial multiplied by 2 times 1. In that regard, this 10 factorial, we cut this 10 factorial, leaving behind 12 multiplied by 11, 12 multiplied by 11, all over 2. So which is going to give us 66. That is the answer to this question here, 66. Now, you can hear me mentioning factorial. Factorial. What is meant by factorial? Factorial is a form of arrangement, that is a kind of multiplication whereby if a particular value is given to you, you multiply the value with one another as they are reducing by one figure each. For instance, if you have n factorial, means n multiplied by n minus 1 multiplied by n minus 2, and so on and so forth, like that till infinity. Now, when you have it in this way, for instance, if I have a kind of question like 7 factorial, 7 factorial will mean 7 multiplied by 7 minus 1. I'm trying to follow this information here. Multiplied by 7 minus 2, multiplied by 7 minus 3, multiplied by 7 minus 4, multiplied by 7 minus 5, multiplied by 7 minus 6. So in that regard now, let me now do the multiplication. I'm going to have 7 multiplied by 7 minus 1 is 6, 7 minus 2 multiplied by 5, 4, 3, 2 times 1. So you can see that it is going in descending order. Another book can give you to have it in ascending order. What we are just saying is that you can see that each follows that follow one another are reduced by 1. So if I ask you to do for me now 12 factorial, you know you are going to have it from 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's going to be in that order like that. That is what is meant by factorial. In this factorial, we are going to have some question to solve on it, stating. The question we have here on factorial. The next question says 45 factorial minus 44 factorial. We are asked to simplify it. Now we have 45 factorial minus 44 factorial as stated here. Now in this case, what you're going to do is try to go ahead with this one with the higher value, which is 45 is greater than 44. We're going to have 45 multiplied by, the factorial of this one, the next value will be 45 minus 1. That will be 44 factorial, because we have a value that has a value that is related to it. That is why I stop at this 44 factorial here minus 44 factorial. Now in this case here now, I can say that when I multiply this 45 and 44 factorial, the value I'm going to get is going to mean this 44 factorial is common between this expression here, which is represented by a negative value. So I'm going to have it to be 44 factorial into, because it's the common value, 45 minus 1. Now, If I try to expand this bracket now, I'm going to have 44 factorial times 45. That will be 45, 44 factorial. 44 factorial times 1, that's 44 factorial. You can see that I've been able to express this question back like this. Now, I go ahead. That will become 44 factorial into bracket 45 minus 1, that will be 44. So the answer is going to be equal to 44 into bracket 44 factorial. Now, that is the answer to the question given to us here. The next question, as we have it there, it says that we should find the value of n minus 2 factorial, as we have it here, n minus 2 factorial minus n minus 3 factorial. Now, if you look at it very well, you will see that this is n minus 2. And you know that for us to have an factorial expression, the next value will be, you subtract 1 from the next value. So I can now say that for me to simplify this expression here now, I can say n minus 2 multiplied by n minus 2 minus 1 factorial minus n minus 3 factorial. Somebody will ask me that why do I stop here? It is n minus 2 minus 1. If you look at it very well, minus 2 minus 1 will give us minus 3, which is going to mean n minus 2, n minus 3 factorial minus n minus 3 factorial. Now, you can see that the expression has become the same value right now. Now, in this case now, what is the common value between this expression here and this particular function here? It is n minus 3 factorial into bracket n minus 2 minus 1. If you expand it, you get this expression back. In that regard now, I can now say that this is n minus 3 factorial, end of bracket n minus 2 minus 1. So which is n minus 3 factorial, so bracket n minus 3. There is no factorial in the order value here. So we are going to have it to be n minus 3, n minus 3 factorial. I'm having factorial at the end because of the mathematical expression. Whichever way you have it, but you know, it is good to have it at the end like this, because when you want to go ahead with your multiplication, it is this one that you continue with its expansion, whereas this one will remain like this. That is the reason why I have the factorial behind like that. Stay tuned for the next question. This set of questions we have here as well, we have to solve them accordingly. Let's look at how we can solve them. The first question says that n plus 2 factorial plus n plus 1 factorial. So in this expression here, you know that this one is going to lead into, you know, the first value will be, if you have to simplify this factorial as n plus 2 multiplied by n plus 2 minus 1. You know, it's plus 2 minus 1 will become plus 1. So that's why I'm going to have it here as factorial plus this plus value here, n plus 1 factorial. So which this one is going to become n plus 2, n plus 1 factorial plus n plus 1 factorial. In other words, it becomes, what is the common value here? That's n plus 1 factorial into n plus 2 plus 1. So that is the expression here is becoming 1 here. If you use this value here, n plus 1 factorial, to multiply the expression here, you are going to get this set of a expression back. So in that regard, you can now have n plus 1 factorial into bracket n plus 3, just like that. So I can now have it as n plus 3 So n plus 1 factorial. So that is the answer to that question. The next one says that we should simplify n factorial all over n minus 2 factorial as we have it here, as we have the question there. Now, in this case, you should just have it in this form that you should just simplify this factorial accordingly. Don't forget that this n factorial is more or less like if you say 4 factorial. 4 factorial will mean 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 and so on, so forth like that. So this case now, you'll be reducing the value of what you'll be multiplying with this n. That will be n is equal to n multiplied by n minus 1, n minus 2 factorial. I'm supposed to go ahead like that, n minus 3, n minus 4, like that. But since I have n minus 2 that looks like this value at the denominator, I will have to stop there. All over n minus 2 factorial. Why most questions are given is because they know that you must have something that you will be able to use to correlate with it in order to simplify such a question. So this one is given in order for this to be able to eliminate one another. So the answer is now n into bracket n minus 1. If you are asked to simplify it further, it can as well become n squared minus n. So this can be an answer, or this can as well be the answer to this expression. We also have these two questions here. The first question says 12 factorial over 9 factorial. We should find the value of 12 factorial over 9 factorial. This so simply means 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 factorial. Once you get to where the value at the denominator is the value that you are mentioning at the top, at the numerator, you can stop there so that it will not be you wasting your time writing all the expression times 8 times 7 times 6 down to 1. It is going to be a waste of time. Over 9 factorial. Since they are having the same value, they can cancel them out. Since what you have at the numerator are multiplied with one another, you can cancel them out. But if they are subtracted or added with one another, you know that you cannot do that. So you can cancel them out like this. So we are having 12 times 11 times 10. That one will give us 1320. So the final answer is 1320. The question we have here asks us to prove. We are asked to prove that 10 factorial over 8 factorial is equal to 90. This is a very simple approach question. What you need to do is just to simplify this expression that you have here. That is 10 times 9 times 8. Since what I have at the denominator is 8 factorial, I can just leave it as 8 factorial here. Don't forget that 8 factorial is as well equal to 8 times 7. It is the same value of the descending order of this 10 factorial. It is still in the order. So over 8 factorial. So that's what we have here. So we can cancel it out. So 10 times 9 is 90. So it has been proved that 10 factorial over 8 factorial is equal to 90. So that one has been proved for us. Thanks for taking part of our class.